Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Last time we did our perfume collection, so now let's do the makeup, which is underneath over here. You guys are no stranger to this. A lot of little drawers. I actually have so much products that it's seeping out. I can't fit everything in, so I have some here as well. And the advent calendar. This is not makeup, obviously. This is just my cleansing oil. I didn't know where to put it. And this is my beautiful Philosophy Cost. But the rest of my makeup is over here. So, you know what? Without further ado, let's get to decluttering because, wow, there's a lot. Okay, to make sure we get the vibes going, I'm going to light a little candle. This is from Glass House. Yes, Glass House. It's an Australian brand. And I'm pretty sure this is in the scent Monet's Garden. It's a beautiful tuberose, which is a white floral, and it's just so calming and makes me feel really relaxed whenever I smell this. And I think it's just a cherry on top to a beautiful declutter. Let me move my cleansing oil out of the way. That's just a cleanser I really love lately. Let's put it here. It's good vibes, right? That's just, there we are. Okay guys, so this is all my primers. This is a huge range. I must say I have some of my mattifying, my pore filling, just some hydrating primers, etc. The end all be all is I'm keeping all of them because I do use primer every single day. I do go through my primers relatively quickly, so I do think I can go through all of these. You have some that are in travel sizes like this one, a sample that I'm just going through really fast. You can see this one, only like another 5 uses left. This one, I reckon another 3 and it will be gone. This is really quick, and yeah, I just think they're really great primers. I think my favorite so far, I do love this Milk Hydro Grip. I am getting this in the full size. Really great for making the makeup last all day. Bobbi Brown, you guys know I already had like a little sample. I got this in the full size. This is just incredible. It melts into your skin. It feels like a, I guess, almost pore filling primer. It's just really good. Again, makes the makeup last, really hydrates the skin, beautiful. And I do like this one as well, the Hamish Artless Glow Base SPF 50. So it's like a sunscreen situation, no white cast, doesn't peel. It's good. And oh, I forgot one of my primers. Let me get it. I forgot this, darling. I was taking a photo with it and I forgot to bring it to my collection. But this one is very similar to Embryolisse. They are kind of this beauty cream and primer in one. Really hydrating, stunning formula. Really like these two. They're just really good. And this one is not super special per se, but hey, it's okay. I like to mix it with like my thicker foundations to make it thinner. And this one is just really beautiful with the golden flakes. Really like that. And yeah, so really like these, keeping all of them. These are my foundations. I do have quite a bit here, but you can see most of them are cushions. I do love my cushions. They do have some setting powders in here, so we'll just go through it. Okay guys, so these are my foundations. I do have a lot of cushions, as you can see, some liquid scattered here and there. Let's just go through it. First of all, I do want to mention this is not really a cushion. This is actually a tone-up cream with SPF in it. So I like to use this when I don't want to wear heavy makeup and I just want my skin tone to look even and also have some sun protection. This one's from Espa, SPF 50. It's really nice, but does give, it's like a white cast but intentionally, so it makes your skin look more healthy. I do like using this, but use it in small doses. It can get really heavy. Since we mentioned Espoir, let's talk about this one. This is the Bee Velvet, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Pro Tailor Bee Velvet, again SPF 30. What I love about Korean skincare, makeup and base products is their SPF factor. It's just so good for extra sun protection. Ooh, there's a glitter there. So this again is a very velvety finish, and it's like, I would say it's actually a matte finish. It's very long wearing, great for the hotter months where you have like a lot of oils and sweat. And this is just a great foundation. It's quite a thin consistency as well. You can see I like to tap it on the lid just to get everything even. And yeah, this is a nice cushion foundation for anyone with oily skin or easily sweats. Next up, I want to talk about Misha. This has been one in my collection for a while now, and I absolutely love this foundation. It is just a perfect medium full coverage. It is this yeah, moist texture. It's very light. It's just very comfortable, long wearing. It's affordable. It just ticks all the right spots. And it does, again, have SPF. It's SPF 50. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought it'd be just like 20 something. But this is an awesome foundation. Probably, I would say like easily top 3. One of my favorites. It's just so good. There's nothing wrong with it, I don't think. Maybe shade range, but honestly, this is just a great for skin finish, yet really covers up all your, I guess, uneven texture and skin tones. It's just such a good one. Really recommend this one if you're just getting into cushion foundation. So I love that one. Next up is the Amuse. This is a very unique one. I lost the puff for this one. I dropped it and I didn't want to use it again. But this is a mesh, and you can see from just looking at it, it's very, very hydrating, very watery, and that's what it is. It's a light to medium coverage. It gives a skin-like finish, and it is just so pretty. I absolutely adore using this on a light makeup day. You guys know I love my no makeup look, so this is awesome for me, and I love the packaging. Very chic, and again, SPF 30. It is a good one. It's a bit pricey, but the texture on your skin after you use this is incredible. It doesn't look like you're wearing any makeup at all. It's just absolutely amazing. I love this for, again, the warmer months. Next is Laneige. This one's a beautiful one as well. Neo Matte. I'm pretty sure this is the older version. They released a new one. I want to say this sponge is so unique. It has these slits in it to really carry more product within it to give yourself more of a coverage. And again, very typical sponge, and you get your product absorbed in here. This is, like it said, it's a matte finish. It's quite long wearing, and it does work well under your mask as well. I really enjoyed this one. I like using this when I need a little bit more of a matte finish and I want my makeup to last all day. This is a great one. Next is the Hamish. This is the, I think it's the Artless Glow as well. This is, again, SPF 50 plus. Very skin-like finish. It is a sponge with the product seeping through. It's very, very, I guess, velvet finished. It's a little bit heavy though for my liking. I don't reach for this a ton, and I do find this shade 23 is a little bit too yellow on me. I don't really love how it looks. I usually use it on the perimeters on my face to give a more 3D effect. I feel like this one's on the chopping block. I'm not sure if I want to declutter or not because I don't use it often and I don't love it as much as my other products. So yeah, I feel like, you know what? This declutter, we're gonna be really harsh. We're just gonna go for it, only keeping our favorites. So I'm going to actually declutter this one. This is the Lancome Miracle Cushion in the shade Beige Meal. I have kept this for ages because this is a pricey one and actually my first cushion foundation. It is just a very thin texture, really full coverage, but this is very old now. I've had this in a while. You can see how dirty it is and I don't reach for it often. I have bronzers now that I love a lot more, so I'm gonna say goodbye to this one. My last yet latest one to my collection is the Clio Kill Cover New Foam Wear Cushion. This is a beautiful, beautiful one, and again, look at the SPF factor. That is just incredible. It gives your skin such a beautiful full coverage moment. I love the pores on the cushion. Oh, I just took it out by accident. But this is a great formula for a matte velvet finish, yet when you first put on your face, it adheres really well. There's moisture to it and it gives your skin such a healthy glow. It's just the right amount of tone for me. I have this in the shade Ginger and I do love the packaging. It is adorable with the pores. I didn't think this would be functional, but it actually is because you can use the wedges to get into your nose crevice, etc. It's just an amazing one. Really chic packaging as well, even without the cats. It is gorgeous. It's a really pretty formula and I do enjoy it a lot, so I'm gonna keep this one. If you saw my video on my favorite makeup of 2023 so far, you will see this one makes an appearance. This is a newer one in my collection, but I absolutely adore these Air Perez Oat Milk foundations because they are so light on the skin. If you saw me apply it, it just looks like it's a moisturizer, but it's tinted. It's a tinted moisturizer in my opinion. Light to medium coverage, gives your skin a beautiful healthy glow and evens out your texture and tones. It just looks absolutely incredible. It wears all day as well, and no matter if you're wearing under a mask or you're sweating, it just looks good by the end of it. It doesn't peel or cake or anything. I just absolutely love it. One thing is I feel like this is a foundation that only works if you already have pretty good skin and your texture is quite minimal, because otherwise the redness and pigmentation will seep through. It won't really hide your bumps or anything. It's a more illuminating formulation, but for me it's something I love, just to keep in mind. And let's move on to these. This is the Giverny Milchak Cover Foundation, and I really enjoy this one when I want a long-lasting makeup day. This is a matte finish and it will just make sure your makeup stays put and glued onto your face. It looks incredible. I love to use this with my spatula, as most of my liquid foundations, even my 3CE one, I love using a spatula for it. This is in the shade 22, so it's a little bit lighter than usual, so I put it on the center of my face, but this one is honestly a great one. Really like it. Decent price as well, you get quite a lot. And I do know that Sakura from Le Seraphim uses this, so she's in a K-pop group and she really enjoys it, so that's why I actually got it, because it was highly recommended by Sakura, and you know, K-pop idols makeup always looks good, so give this one a try. And mentioned this earlier, this is this 3CE Style Nanda, what's it called? It's called the Velvet Fit foundation. I have it in the shade beige, which is a little bit darker than what I usually use, so I use this on the outer perimeters, again to create that 3D effect. Velvet is the correct way to describe it, but I would say it's leaning more matte. Again, I do actually enjoy a matte finish most of the time. I think it's more long lasting on my skin, and this is actually quite a full coverage foundation. It is light in the texture, but it gives your skin a beautiful coverage that lasts all day. It's long wearing, it's really beautiful. Nothing bad to say about it, and the packaging is just so cute. It is quite a heavy, you know, gloss, I'm pretty sure, and it is just really easy to use. You have a really typical pump applicator and it spreads really nicely with a spatula or your fingers. Highly recommend. So yeah, these are my foundations and base product that I will be keeping. Oh my gosh guys, I completely forgot about this one just then for my foundation, but Elisa has a finishing powder, so it goes on to my next category, so thank goodness for that. But this is the Patrick Ta, what's it called? Patrick Ta Creme Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. This is a cream foundation on top here. I love the cap to keep it clean, and you also have a finishing powder. This is a finishing powder, not a setting powder. This is a mistake I make often. Finishing powder essentially blurs your makeup, whereas setting powder keeps it in place. So this is more like a light dusting. Setting powder, you want to pat it in. This one is a little bit thicker for my liking. The formulation is quite thick. It's a little bit hard to blend out. Not my favorite, but I do keep this product for review purposes. I do collect Patrick Ta because it's one of my favorite brands, so I will keep it for that reason. But functional wise, I don't love it as much, and the finishing powder is a little bit too thick for my liking. I've used ones that are better. This one is just not as finely milled as I would like it to be, but it's not a bad product, maybe just not for me. I don't like a full coverage, and I do have kind of drier skin, especially now in the winter, so maybe if you have oily skin and prefer a thicker, more full coverage product, this is for you. But for me, it's not my cup of tea. But now let's move on to the powders. I do keep my powders with my foundation here in this little tray, and I do have the Pat McGrath glitters in here, so I'm going to do the powders next. And I do actually have quite a fair bit of each in all the different finishes. So I'll start first with the loose powder. I have quite a bit of these, but this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter in the shade Lavender. Again, this is something that made it to my favorites of 2023 so far, and I do love this powder a lot. It's very finely milled, and it just sets the makeup really nicely. And the shade Lavender is just great for brightening my skin because I do have a yellow undertone, and I do have this in the mini. I think it's the perfect size for me. I've been using it a lot, but it's not going down, so I think a mini is really good, especially since Sephora brands are more on the expensive price side, so you know, you wanted something a little bit more affordable and it lasts a long time, so I do like it, keeping that one. This is the Rare Beauty setting powder. I don't know what it's called. It's light, so it does have actually mild shimmers in it. It's a very finely milled powder. Again, let me just see if I can. some on the lid. It has a slight shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see. Oh, my hands look so crusty from the winter, but it does have a slight shimmer and shine to it, which gives your skin a very illuminating look. It's very dewy. It's really nice. It does set the makeup very well. I enjoy using this quite a bit. And the last loose powder I have is from Laneige. This is the Neo powder. So it goes really well with the Neo matte cushion. So the little blue one you see here. Again, this is a very finely milled powder. I love this puff. It's really fluffy, and you have a mesh here, so you can really press into it, get whatever powder you want product, and just pat it onto your face. It's a really smart packaging, really easy to use, and I enjoy this one. I think this one's the most user-friendly out of all the loose powders. The others are a little bit messy. You have to put onto the lid, get a brush, whatever, and then set your face. This one's just really easy. You grab it and you use it. It's really like this one. Keeping all my loose powders. And now let's move on to my pressed powders. I'll start first with the NARS. This is a really great one. I don't know what that little dot is, but you can see how this has a little bit of a shimmer and shine to it. It doesn't translate onto your skin like a highlighter, I assure you. It's just this very light, look at this, translucent, almost wet looking powder, and once you set your face with it, it does set the makeup and it looks skin-like. It isn't thick or heavy at all. I love using a powder puff if I want to really set the makeup, or just a light dusting with a fluffy brush. This is just an amazing product, so worth the hype and price point. I love it. Definitely will be using this a lot. I've made quite a considerable dent in it. I just think this is one of those products that makes your makeup look so much more put together. It really ties it in and is worth the high-end price point. Really love this formula. Absolutely adore it. And this is actually a dupe for it. This is something I find to be very similar to Cool for School. And again, you have the little slight shimmers to it. It's a more hard finish, but this one, I guess the white base comes through a little bit more. That one's truly transparent, but this one's still really nice. I love using this one as well on days where it's like a bit hot and I don't want to look like I have too much matte looking products on my face, because I love a matte finished foundation and concealer. So this one really helps make my makeup look a little bit lighter. Really enjoyed this one. And you guys know I love my Glips one. This is the same one but rebranded. I don't know what's going on, but it's the same powder that I love. It's so blurring. It really just makes your makeup look like it is photoshopped and airbrushed. It is absolutely gorgeous. I really enjoy this one, and I haven't used it enough this year just because I've been using my translucents quite a bit, and also my loose powder, but I do love this formula. Rest assured, this is amazing. Really great price point as well. And this is my Sephora collection finishing powder. Look at that dent. I'm so happy with the progress. I'm really trying to finish it today. Again, you can see in the white powder there's that shimmer which gives a skin-like finish. I just swirl everything and just use it, and it looks great. Love this one as well. Nothing bad to say about it. And last but not least, latest one to my collection, the 3CE and toilet paper collaboration. Toilet paper is a magazine, not actual toilet paper, but this is in the shade Clear Light, and this is a beautiful packaging anyway. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And you have your powder here. It is a little bit more pigmented, but it's a very soft powder and it's very finely milled. I really enjoy using this one. I only like to use a fluffy brush with this one, no puff. And underneath you do have a puff for traveling purposes. You can use this one, but I don't use it. I just think that's a bit too heavy. But yeah, not a bad powder. Not my favorite from 3CE actually. I think 3CE has really great powder blushes, but this setting powder is a little bit mediocre. It's okay, it does the job, but it's not my favorite. I'm not going to declutter it just because I do collect 3CE, but it's not the best. I would say if you want a K-beauty powder, go for the About Tone, Laneige, or even the Too Cool for School. They're great ones. This one's a little bit on the heavier side. But keeping all my setting powders because I do use that every day as well. And we'll move on to the next category. My concealer collection, honestly, I go through it quite a bit. I've used up quite a bit as well this year. So let's just cut to the chase, I'm not decluttering any of these. Whatever I have left, basically I love already, and I am focusing on them a lot. But one thing to note is the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener genuinely is not a favorite. I do not like it. I just think it's, I don't know, the coverage isn't there. Even when I use it for no makeup look, it doesn't really cover my dark circles too much, and the formula isn't hydrating enough to not bunch onto my face. It just kind of sits there, and you can see it doesn't really add any brightening effect, and I just think it's a bit meh. It's not the best, it's not my favorite, and the applicator is just a bit strange. You can't really pick up any product with it. You have to like really go in, swirl it, and do everything. It's innovative because it's cool and cooling, sorry, well, it is cool because it has that metal tip. I just don't like it. I don't think it's very good. I would declutter this, but I collect Rare Beauty and I do want to do a full face with it. So for content purposes, again, keeping it just like the Patrick Tar, I would declutter it, but because I collect the brand and I want to do reviews with it, I will keep it. But just a heads up, this is not worth your money. Get a real, concealer that is a bit brighter than your normal skin tone, has more coverage that way. And the Rare Beauty concealers, I've heard great things about them, but this one's just not worth your money. I don't really love it, but the rest of these I do like. I even really enjoy this Kill Cover from Clio. This one's a really good one. It's very full coverage, and I just think it's a really nice everyday concealer. This is a sample size, and I'm actually going to finish up soon, and the rest are just tried and true. The same concealers are some of my favorite. Again, you can see the usage in it. Just one dot and it goes like so much. Let me just show you guys. So just a little dot there, and look at that, it just goes so far, and the finish is just incredible. You can see how it's still skin-like. It really helped to cover everything. I absolutely enjoy this foundation so much, this concealer, my bad, and it is just so affordable. I absolutely adore it. One of my favorites. Will continue to repurchase until the end of time. It is just that good. I can't rave about it enough. And my Maybellines, these are great too. You can see this one's almost done. I'm really happy with that progress, and this one is doing good too. I love to use this on the center of my face and brightening. This one's great for covering just pimples and spots. This one is a great combination. I do prefer the Age Rewind over this, but I finished that one, so I think maybe the next Priceline sale I'll pick up another Age Rewind, but these are good too. This is meant to be a dupe for the NARS, but I think it's actually a little bit thinner than the NARS formula as well, and the coverage is about the same. So this one's a good one. Even the packaging looks similar. Really worth it. Love these from the drugstore. NARS, this one's amazing. Almost done as well because I took the stopper out, and this one is getting a little bit old. I know it doesn't perform the way it used to. You can see it's a little bit thicker now compared to when I first got it, but it's still a great concealer nonetheless. You can see the coverage is incredible. It gives a very skin-like finish. It doesn't bunch or cake. It's just a really great concealer. Love this one. And Luna is a new favorite. I think this is one of my favorite concealers ever. It is, again, a little goes a very long way, and it is a very moisturizing formula. I just like how hydrating it is, and it gives your skin such a, again, skin-like finish. It is just absolutely incredible. I love this one. If you were to try out a new concealer, I would recommend this one so much. And if you were to get into K-beauty for the first time, this one and the same, these are incredible concealers. Honestly, I just think they're some of my favorite formulas. Again, this one will repurchase until the end of time. And last but not least, Hourglass. This one's been in my collection for a long time, but hey, we're almost done with it. How good is that? Love this for a medium coverage. These are all full coverage, by the way. Full coverage except for that one. This one's a medium coverage. And yeah, really enjoy it. Love all of these. We'll keep on using them, so no decluttering going on there. Okay, next up are my face palettes. I do think this one should go next because I have a bit of complexion and all that jazz, but let's cut to the chase and just go through it. You guys already know this is one of my favorite palettes of all time, the Charlotte Tilbury. It's just such a versatile palette. I can't wait to go back to traveling because I will take this and it will solve all my issues. You have everything. The only complaint I have is this face powder is a little bit too, like, dark for me. It's a little bit too yellow, and it doesn't fit that many skin tones. It's a little bit heavy as well, but I love to use this to like just mix in with my bronzer. I think it works well. You have the best highlighter, and these eyeshadows are amazing. I always swatch this one. You can see the dent in it. I love this one. It just, hello, like how pretty is that? This is the best eyeshadow glitter from Charlotte Tilbury. It is awesome. Love this palette, never decluttering it, and honestly you guys need to have this in your collection. It's just so incredible. Love it. Mr. Wayne Goss. This is the Desert Bloom blush palette. You have a highlighter and a blush. First of all, how massive are these pan sizes? You're never going to finish using it, but the formula, it is so buttery soft, and it is just something that glides onto your skin. It looks just so incredibly reflective on your skin, but not too heavy, and doesn't emphasize texture. It just looks so glowy and gorgeous. And the mattes, I am telling you, this looks like Photoshop. This is incredible. It's so pretty. I love this palette so much, and I really want to try his eyeshadow palettes. I wanted the pearl palette so bad, but I think it's discontinued. I don't know what's going on with it, but you know, we can only hope it's not discontinued. This is one of the best blush highlighter duos ever. I highly recommend to everyone. It's expensive, but you get so much product in here. Like you get 19 grams. This is 11.2 grams. You get 4 products. It looks like, you know, you have 4, there's more, but this is 19 grams. Like, yoo-hoo, you're never gonna finish using it. This is amazing. We were talking about Darcyk, so let's just go through it. I really like Darcyk powder blushes. I think they are just so incredible to use. They're really easy to blend, and they just look great on me. They're very flattering. I love my warm tones. This is a more peachy palette. I love these two to brighten my face. I really like this technique of using a almost, I guess, setting powder shade, and it brightens your entire face up. It just makes it more plump. And you have this lighter shade, and you go in with a bit of a darker one. You blend them in together. It just looks more natural. It's gorgeous. They work beautifully. They blend so easily, and they are just absolutely amazing. Very subtle color and coverage though, because it is K-Beauty, but it is pretty. This is the Autumn Knit. I'm really excited to use this one. These colors are absolutely stunning, and the packaging is so gorgeous too. I just love these blushes so much. They are some of my favorite powder blushes from K-Beauty, and just blushes in general. And it is very convenient. You have 4 in one palette, and I do use all of them. This is a Darcyk Pro Concealer palette, so you have some color correcting. This is not my favorite formula, if I'm being honest. It's a little bit drying, and it's just not the most easy to use. The colors are really good though. They are a little bit on the fair side, so these, I wish they were just a bit darker. They're a bit too light for me. They turn out just white and too brightening on my skin. You can see that it's just too much. So what I like to do is, if I, for example, want some of the green to cover my redness, this is way too pale. So what I do is I take a little bit of this shade or this shade, and I pat it on and mix it together. This way I neutralize it and make it just a green concealer. It works a lot better that way. So I always like to mix these with whatever concealer I am using, but these are great as contour shades. This one's great for under the eyes, and yeah, not a bad one, because this is the only color corrector I have. I do want a color corrector. If I did have another one, I think I might declutter this one, because this is just too drying as a formula and I don't love it. You just have to manipulate it quite a lot. Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. This one is a gorgeous finishing powder. Again, this is a finishing powder, so you want to brush through all of it and just glide over your skin so everything smooths down and juices up. Really enjoy this one, and I just use all of them all at once. They are incredible like this. So I use it, and you get this kind of shimmery powder, and just place it over your skin. Looks really juicy and airbrushed. Really love this. And last but not least, I do have this beautiful Hourglass palette. This is a finishing powder, so you can use this to, you know, juice up the skin. These two are highlighters. I really enjoy the shimmer on these. They're very subtle as well, which I think is really pretty, and it just gives your skin a beautiful glow. They feel very dry to touch. Like when I swatch it, you can hear it. Right, it's a little bit drying, but on the skin it just looks so juicy. I don't know how they do it. Beautiful blushes, great bronzer. lovely palettes. So keeping all of these, but theoretically if I had another color corrector, I would get rid of this one. Now I want to move on to my mascara because that collection is relatively smaller, so I can actually do that. The rest I want to go on to another section and part of my video because otherwise it would get too long. I don't want this video to be way too long, but these are my mascaras. Let's just play with it. Okay, let's go through the little samples first. So I have the Milk Kush mascara. This was very viral. I think it has hemp in it, which is one of the reasons. It's a very interesting, ingredient. And this is just a very typical mascara. I don't see anything super special about it. It does lengthen because it has some microfibers in it. It's very, very black, but one thing I hate about this is just how big the one is. You guys know my lashes are quite short, so this is a bit of a hassle to use. I don't really love it, and thank goodness this is only a travel size, otherwise I would regret my money so much. I don't love it. It doesn't stay on my lashes too long, doesn't make it stay curled either. It makes it blacker and more dark, which any mascara can do, so it's not that special. So I'm gonna declutter this. Bad Girl Bang, this one is a really nice one for lengthening, but these are so spiky. It's just you can see how spiky it is, and it hurts me because I suck at applying mascara, and sometimes I poke myself in the eyeballs and it doesn't actually last all day. It transfers and it just goes everywhere. It bleeds. It just I try to like it on the lower lashes, but you know what, why would I use two different mascaras just like that? I like to use just one. I'm a bit lazy like that, so I'm going to declutter it. And again, it's a travel. I held on to it for a long time because I am a makeup hoarder, but I'm trying to get better at that, so goodbye. Too Faced Better Than Sex is, again, iconic. It is an amazing mascara for making your lashes look very long, lengthened, and just everything. Again, massive wand. It doesn't really fit my eye shape, and it does transfer a tad. It's just a little bit, I don't know, it's nothing I love too much because it's voluminizing, but because my lashes lack volume already, it just looks clumpy. It doesn't look that amazing. I gaslight myself into liking it, and I thought, I'm using it up because it's a travel, but there's no point. I have other mascaras I enjoy. I want to use that first, so also decluttering this one. Rare Beauty mascara. This is in, I think, the travel size. I can't remember. Again, I feel like it's the same complaint. The one is too big. It doesn't do anything phenomenal for my lashes. It just makes it darker, a little bit lengthened. But one thing better is this does actually last all day, so it doesn't transfer, bleed, raccoon eyes, and just, it's okay. But again, keeping it for review purposes and collection purposes because I like Rare Beauty as a brand. But theoretically, if it wasn't Rare Beauty, I would declutter this. Now, my full-size mascaras, let's get through that one. So let's start with my Giverny Milchak Sensitive Mascaras. These are incredible. They are the smallest ones I've ever seen. Look at that. Looks like it could be for brow gel. And it does have microfibers. I'm not sure if you can see it. So this does help lengthen. It gives you dull lashes. It lasts all day. Holds your curl. It just is amazing. I have a black and a dark brown. So really love using these. I think these are great if you have very thin and just short stubby lashes like mine. They make your lashes look long, individual, they stand, and they last all day. Really amazing. Love these. And Peri Pera Black Cara Clear Set, one of my favorites of all time. You guys know this if you watch my channel for a while now. Amazing one, very small, and just combs through everything. Again, it has some microfibers to really lengthen your lashes. I've stopped using this just because I didn't want to use it up, which is a really dumb thing to do. I should actually use it up because I love this. Highly recommend. This is in 03. It's meant to be a primer, but I think it's fine just by itself because the more you layer it on, it's still thin, but it makes your lashes look lengthened. So this is awesome. Really like it, and it's really easy to remove as well. Some long-lasting mascaras are a bit harder to remove. I find this fine just with an oil cleanser. Let me find you my oil cleanser. Yeah, this is an oil cleanser I've been loving. This is from Grey Malin. I can't find the logo. Where is it? Ah, it's right there. I didn't see. Grey Malin from La Cosmetic. It's really good. I really enjoy this oil cleanser, and yeah, this one is an amazing one. And this is a new obsession. This was in my 2023 favorites so far. This is from Etude House Curl Fix. It's a very, very, again, smaller applicator, and what I love about this is it doesn't have fibers, but it makes my makeup my eyelashes stay all day, and it just looks really, really curled, and it doesn't transfer at all. It's a little bit harder to remove, but I do find if you use a special lip and eye remover, it works fine. It's great. I love this one, and it just is a really great mascara. I love it. Worth the hype, and I think if you're just getting to K-beauty, this one's definitely worth a try. The latest one to my collection is the Air Perez Natural Almond Mascara in the shade Mauve. Yeah, it's a bit scary. It's really scary, but actually it doesn't really show up. I think once you layer it a few times, it looks like, oh my god, it is purple, it's a bit scary, but after a while you get used to it. It doesn't really show up if you're looking afar. It's quite a fun one, and I actually really like this formula. I think it lasts all day and it holds my curl. It's great. Doesn't lengthen, doesn't do anything super special. Oh, it does lengthen a little bit. I was just too scared to pile on to see how much it will lengthen because of the purple color, but I actually really enjoy this. I would use this for like a light makeup day, because always having black lashes can be boring, so having this can actually, you know, jazz it up a little bit. I enjoy this one. If they do have a black and brown, I might pick it up. I really like it. This is a relatively newer mascara as well for me. This is a 3CE Slim Fit. It's a really weird applicator in my opinion. It's like this hourglass but dented and bent. It's a bit hard to use, so I use only in the top side here, the straighter side, to curl through. This is just, I don't know what's going on there, but it's fine. It's like more wet than most mascaras, I would say, and it's very mediocre. I don't think it's anything super special. It helps to lengthen, but you can see like what I mean by it's more wet than usual. It's not as black or pigmented either. It just holds your curl, doesn't really do anything, makes it darker and more black, doesn't voluminize or lengthen. It's just there, but it does last all day, so I do like that. Definitely waterproof. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's anything special about it. I'll have to test it a few more to see if I like it enough to keep it, but we'll see. So far it's on chopping board. Next is the Hamish Daylesden mascara. This is one of my favorite mascaras with a relatively big wand, but it just works. Like this one, it's fine because everything is a more, I guess, organized curve, whereas this 3CE one, it was just like, it's curved, goes in, and it goes back. It was just weird. So I really like this one. It does make my lashes look really beautiful and long, lasts all day, and I do enjoy it. It's just a little bit hard to use on the lower lash line and lower lashes, so I don't use it that much, but I do like it. I think it's worth the hype. And this is from the same Perfect Curling. I actually enjoy this one quite a bit because this one also a larger one, but it just works. It voluminizes. So what I like to do is pretend these are my lashes. I like to comb it through, and I like to leave it on and just do a little wiggle at the roots and make it stick together. It makes it really voluminized and pretty. Really enjoy this one, and I think great mascara for the price. I think it's like only $5. It's awesome. Clear Kill Lash in Sleek Volume. This one is a favorite for a while. I've really enjoyed using this one. Again, it has everything I want in a mascara. It voluminizes, it's dark, it's really black, so it really helps to make it look sleeker, and it lasts all day. Honestly amazing. Again, a little bit hard to remove if you don't have an eye or lip remover, but hey, that's what you get for getting a long-lasting mascara that holds your curl and makes them look like idol lashes. Really recommend this one, and I do enjoy it. This one is from Roman Han or Fix Mascara. I haven't used it enough to say how much I enjoy it, but from the first time use, I remember I did enjoy it quite a bit. I think it was something that at first didn't wow me, but slowly it hits all the criteria, so I think I'll have to try this a little bit more to see what I feel about it. But so far, from my first impressions, I remember I really enjoyed it. This is the Colourpop Act Natural Defining Mascara. It's a beautiful brown mascara. Again, it's a huge one, but I actually really enjoy this formula because it stays on my eyes all day and it looks good on a very natural makeup day. And I do only use it on the top. On the bottom lashes, I try to clean the edge up so I can just use the edges to scrape it out a little bit, but I actually really enjoyed this one. I think for the price point, this is a great mascara, and it just works really well. It holds it and doesn't smudge. Last but not least, I have the Patrick Ta Major Volume Mascara. This one, the wand is just too rectangular, it doesn't do anything super special, and I feel like it's one of those mascaras that it just makes my lashes blacker, and that's it. It doesn't really hold the curl either, doesn't lengthen, doesn't voluminize. I tried the technique where I just make it on my roots and swivel and try to stick it together, doesn't work. It's just one of those mascaras I tried to love because it's from Patrick Ta, but I don't like it. I just don't think it gives you a major volume. It promises beautiful packaging, very consistent with Patrick Ta, but not a favorite. Again, keeping it for content purposes only because I collect the brand, but otherwise I would declutter this. So that's it for my mascara collection. Alright guys, that is it for my first part of my declutter. We went through, I think that's a decent declutter. I really just went through everything and thought what I would like, what I would keep for what type of purposes, and I think this is good. I got rid of some that I've been thinking about like keeping, but at the end decided to say no to. So I think I'm happy with the declutter, and the rest I think is manageable for me. A lot of swatches going on, everything's just a bit yikes here, but you know, I think it's good for visualizing how everything looks. But that is it for my first part of my declutter. I hope you guys liked it, and make sure to stay tuned for part 2, where I will be doing, you know, some of my more complexion products, blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and all that jazz, and then moving on to lips and eyeshadow. But that's it for today's video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up or even subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye bye.